Daily sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, where the sound of the big red siren signals it is time for football. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there? Yeah. 2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And the Cardinals, first down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On first down, right back to Carter. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, as you can see, they're not operating at full health today, partner. That's been a big story the last couple of weeks. But the bottom line, their record is solid, and you know that this is still a very dangerous team, even with those guys missing.
What they've shown us throughout this season is that this team has stayed focused. And some injuries, they're just not going to derail the momentum they've built up all season long. They continue to go out there and play and give their best performances.
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his 2nd year in the NFL now.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Over the middle, it's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that will draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
Austin, first down.
They'll look to throw. And a quick throw there is incomplete.
When you look at this defense,
they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out. Being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Now this time he'll look to throw.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain of 12 yards that time.
A gain of 12. First down, Austin.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His throw incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now back to throw.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But
he lost the football.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
The Armadillos offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. And as we check out the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns coming into the weekend, see a familiar name there near the top of the leaderboard, currently second in that category.
Now a first carry here for the running back. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. Well, look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. He was creeping up toward 200 yards. Thought he was going to get there. Didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
3rd and 12.
They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
A 36-yard attempt.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Throwing. Brissett.
Throw to the flat for Carter. They'll come up now 3rd and 9.
That's a gain of 5.
To throw. Brissett. Throw left side complete. That's Brooks. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. They go play action here on first down. And they it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's second down and 10.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
The second down.
Here's third and 3.
Complete to number 86. That's a gain of 7.
He'll look to throw here.
He'll try to pick it up himself.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Well, I don't want to be a jinx partner and put the whammy on him, but I think we could be looking at all-time damn the ground with the way that he's going. Only a few quarterbacks in this league are capable of a 100-yard game, and he's halfway there just in the first quarter. This is a record-setting pace. Hopefully, he can keep it up, and we can have fun watching it.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. He'll drop to throw.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. They'll drop to throw. They fights him off. Gets past one man. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead, as that leads us to 4th.
They'll try and run the option. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They come up short here on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. In a design QB run in that spot, maybe trying to catch the defense off guard a bit. It didn't work, though.
Again, we're seeing that college influence come into the NFL. Quarterback run game on 4th down. We didn't see that very much in the previous years in the NFL.
No, seeing it more, saw it there, did not work out. Turnover on downs. Here's Brissett.
They'll set up the screen to Carter.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 11. And the Cardinals first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Second and 9.
On play action, Brissett. Got a man, it's Brown. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
To Farrell Brown. A gain of a yard.
Now Brissett.
They'll get that complete to Harrison.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" Because here they come.
They'll drop this underneath to Carter.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Cardinal passing game dialed in now. First down.
That's another Cardinals first down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
This 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6.
Back to the ground with Carter.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Here's Chad Ryland now on for the field goal.
This one from 46 yards out.
46-yard attempt.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will tie us at 3-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The Armadillos offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he continues to be a nuisance for opposing defenses that are tasked with trying to slow him down. He's currently 2nd in the NFL in rushing.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson.
And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Now here's Bradley Pinion now.